Hey guys, how are you? Marissa Myers here. Good morning. And I wanted to share a message with you today that I've been kind of thinking about and processing a lot in the last couple of days. So for those of you who have been following me for a while or have read my story, know that my father he committed suicide when I was 23 years old, and it left a big mark on our family and myself. And you know, Father's Day just passed a couple of weeks ago, and I shared that story on my wall. And I think it touched a lot of people. A lot of people commented on it, and for some reason I decided to watch the Kurt Cobain story, his montage of Heck and Soaked in Bleach, which are two documentaries kind of showing both sides of the story. Basically there's controversy over how he died, and one side of the story is that he committed suicide, and the other side is that it was a homicide and he was basically killed by his wife hired somebody to kill him, Courtney Love. But anyway, I watched those documentaries, and it was right around Father's Day, and I was thinking a lot about my dad, and I could connect with the sadness that he felt, or that they felt, or that people who are suicidal feel. I could feel that depth of sadness, of loneliness, of just brokenness, but I wasn't my emotion. I could feel the emotion, but I wasn't the emotion. I just felt it, and I understood it, and I had compassion for it, but I was able to see that it wasn't me. It was just something that I was feeling, and I was able to connect with it and also disconnect with it at the same time. And now, for those of you who don't know me very well, I definitely can have a tendency to go into the dark side of things. So if something happens that's negative, then I, make it a bigger deal than it is, or I'm really hard on myself. So if something doesn't go as planned or something doesn't go right, then it's just like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so dramatic about it. And I can be very dramatic about it. So I can have a tendency to feel that type of sadness and that type of loneliness, just like I'm sure a lot of people can in this world. And in that moment, when I kind of was watching those movies and I was thinking about my dad and I was processing those emotions and feeling that sadness, I realized that we have choices. We can choose to be in that sadness and, dive into that dark, negative energy, or we can choose to connect with the collective consciousness, with God, with the universe, with the energy that's there for us, that's the happiness and the positive and the opposite of that negative sadness. And there's choices, and everybody has choices. And in that moment, I was so clear that I could make that choice whenever I'm feeling that darkness. I could make a choice to flip it into that positive. Now, did that happen overnight? Am I able to just do that? Like, okay, I had this moment of clarity and now that happened overnight? No, I've been working on myself through a modality called shadow work with a teacher for 2.5 years, and I've been handling my emotions and looking at my emotions and being conscious of my emotions and being aware of my emotions and being aware of my patterns and being aware of what brings me to that dark place. So it was 2.5 years of work that got me to that point of clarity where I could literally flip from feeling sadness and having compassion but not being that sadness, and then realize that I can make a choice and flip to connecting to the universal consciousness of happiness. And we can only do that by being present. So I know it's like said a million times and everybody's heard it, life is too short, enjoy the moment, but it really is the truth. It really is the key to happiness, because if you're constantly living your life trying to get somewhere or wanting to be somewhere else than where you are, if you're constantly living looking in the future. Okay, looks like it reconnected. Sorry about that. It went off for a second. Hey Karen, how are you? Good to see you. Sorry, I got a weak connection for a second. So my point is that if you're constantly living in the past and living in either judgment, guilt, anger, frustration, or any of those emotions that are connected to who you were or who somebody else was or what happened to you or what went on, or if you're constantly living in the future, like, when I do this, I will get that, or, you know, only if I reach this certain goal in my business, then I'll be happy. If only I have this house, then I'll be happy. If only I have this body, then I'll be happy. But at the end of the day, if you're constantly living in that future, then you're never enjoying your present moment. And if you're living your life that way, then you're never really going to be happy, because really all we have is the present moment. We are a soul traveling in a physical body that's going to break down on us. It's going to one day be gone, and our soul is going to live on outside of that body. We're not this physical body. We are energy. We are a life force. We're a soul inside of this body. And if we approach each day with, you know, love for ourselves and love for others and happiness, and realize that we're a life force and we have the ability to influence the people around us and the planet around us and the energy, because of our energy, then we can choose to live differently. We can choose to be present in the moment, and we can choose to be a positive life force for the people around us. And maybe that sounds really complex and really advanced, and maybe it's over your head, or maybe it sounds like a bunch of craziness. I don't know, but it's where I'm at right now. And to have that moment of clarity I went through a very, very dark sadness, and that is what really ultimately gave me that clarity, and how I found the flip side of it is the happiness, and that I have choices, and we all have choices. We can choose to go into a whirlwind of emotion and be dramatic and be sad and choose darkness or anger or frustration, or we can choose happiness, and we can choose balance. We can choose to be present, and we can choose to let go, and we can choose love. And love is the opposite of all of those things. Love is the only positive emotion. The rest of the emotions are negative. So, and the way that we do that is by being present. So I encourage you today to try to just be aware and just go about your day being present in what you're doing, and not just constantly, okay, once I get this done, then I'm going to the next step, then I go into the next step. Don't just get things done all day today. Take a moment to breathe, and take a moment to see where you're at, assess your emotional state, and assess where you're, you know, having negative feelings about things in your life, and where you have positive feelings, and then do more of the things that make you feel positive. Do more of that. So I hope this message found you well. I know it's kind of a deep topic, but it's something that is very significant in my life, and it's significant for all of us, because in reality, at the end of the day, this body is going to go away, and all we have is the experiences that we had in our life that was so short on this planet. So we have to do the best that we can to really have a positive experience in that time, and the only way we can do that is with love and through being present. So I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Friday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Actually, I'll be posting a workout video later of some moves from my workout today. I started a new program, but it's an old program, but I'm just doing it again. It's, you know, I tried it a while ago, and I'm doing it again. So I'll show you some moves. It's lower body. It's a killer, and I think you'll enjoy it. So if you want, tune back in later, and I'll make a live video of that. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Flex Friday. Bye.